We begin today with the world mourning the death of the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the civil rights giant, passing away at the age of 84. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to 7 News Detroit at 4. I'm Carolyn Clifford. For more than 5 decades, Reverend Jackson stood as a towering figure of the civil rights movement, rising to prominence in the 1960s, right alongside the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His voice and his vision shaping America's fight for racial equality. Reverend Jackson died peacefully in his sleep this morning, leaving behind a legacy that will be heralded for generations to come. The iconic leader now being remembered as a trailblazer, a 2-time presidential candidate, and a fierce advocate for voting rights. 7 News Detroit reporter Faraz Javed sat down with the Reverend Wendell Anthony to talk about Reverend Jackson's lasting impact right here in the Motor City. The Reverend Jesse Jackson.
And they cannot just hope for change, they can vote for the change that they seek.
Jesse was bigger than life. He leaves a legacy that few people can ever achieve.
For longtime NAACP Detroit President Reverend Dr. Wendell Anthony, Reverend Jesse Jackson's legacy is not only in speeches but in the change he helped create.
His life should be studied in schools. How to do it as an activist. I cannot enumerate all the things that he freed people who were locked up overseas. He brought African nations closer to this nation, talked about what we were not doing there.
Reverend Jackson marched with Dr. Martin Luther King, founded the Rainbow Push Coalition, and stood in Detroit's pulpits to rally for voting rights and justice.
He taught us all, no matter who you were, that you are somebody. When people try to beat you down and you don't think that you mean anything, his mantra, I am somebody, that poem that he did, and his final mantra that he leaves to us today, which we desperately need.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
But the way you keep hope alive is by your faith and most importantly by your work.
Jackson also ran for president in 1984 and 1988. And although he lost the Democratic primary both times, he helped pave the way for Barack Obama to get elected as the nation's first black president in 2008.
If he was here right now today, and he wanted to share that one message, what would that be?
You got to stand up, you got to get involved, you got to get engaged. We've come too far to be turned back now. His message was standing up to those things that you know are wrong.
Protege of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Jackson played key roles in advancing education, professional development, diversity initiatives, and defending First Amendment protections for journalists, among other changes.
You know, you told me that Reverend Jackson was a mentor to you, a friend to you. Right now, I can see emotions in your eyes. Which part gets more emotional for you, the mentor part or the friend part?
The friend part.
A friendship of nearly 4 decades will never fade away. Coming up at 5, you'll hear from Reverend Anthony talking about how Reverend Jackson was always pushing for a healthy family structure, especially amongst people of color, and also details about a wedding that Reverend Jackson officiated 21 years ago, which still is extremely memorable. From the West Side, I'm Faraz Javed, 7 News Detroit.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson touched so many lives in the city of Detroit. Thank you so much, Faraz. We want you to stay with 7 News Detroit as we continue to honor the life and legacy of the Reverend Jesse Jackson. You can find much more on our website right now at WXYZ.com.